I'll go on to the actual 3D image and what it looks like. So, first one.
Alex Pacala, aka Captain Nintendo Dude, aka CND. This man is truly one of the most influential men in the entire Nintendo community. He has now and forever changed the way that people see Nintendo as a gaming company, and he is truly an inspiration. But for all of this to make complete sense, let's start from the beginning. The very beginning. On March 14th, 2011, a video was posted to YouTube titled Pokemon Black and White Collector's Guide Unboxing and Review. This video would single-handedly change the way that people see Nintendo games and unboxings in general, not to mention this was very, very early in YouTube's life. Now keep in mind, the year is still 2011, the only genre of gaming content we'd ever seen at this point had just been the tried and true Let's Play style of video creation, so this truly was original content that we had never seen before. And you also have to keep this in mind as well, kids around this time wouldn't be editing YouTube videos, they'd just be filming and posting. But Alex was different. He actually put somewhat effort into editing his content, making it stand out among the rest. Fast forward a few weeks later, it's a snowy morning, March 27th, 2011. Alex is in the car with his mother alongside his best buddy Jacob. As Alex is holding his vlogging camera, getting ready to vlog his experience, his mother finally pulls into the parking lot at their local GameStop. Jacob and Alex run inside to smell the wonderful smell of a freshly opened GameStop in the early morning to purchase the brand new Nintendo 3DS that had just been released that same morning. They run home, Alex films their genuine reactions to their very first time unboxing their brand new systems, and with that, well, history had been officially made. After that specific video getting well appraised reviews and essentially going viral, Alex would go on to create room tours, collection tours, unboxings, reviews, live streams, vlogs, challenges, trick shot videos. He even bought his own dang RV to travel cross country. This man was truly an adventurer. Everything. Literally everything was indeed perfect. But unfortunately, unbeknownst to Alex and his entire fanbase, life isn't a Disney movie, and not all stories have happy endings. On February 3rd, 2017, Alex and a few of his buddies decided to set up camp right outside of the Nintendo World Store located in Lower Manhattan near Central Park in New York City. They camped directly outside of the store for a full 30 days straight until the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch console had its official worldwide release. Fast forward a few months towards the end of 2017, the SNES Classic and Super Mario Odyssey were obviously the highlighted console and game releases of September and October. And sure enough, CND was right outside of the Nintendo World Store to be the very first one to purchase both products. There was so much content on Alex's channel around this time as well, obviously about the Nintendo Switch. I mean, this guy had been one of the very first people to ever get their hands on the system in the entire world, so I personally think that this was definitely the peak of Alex's channel, and content overall. He went on to eventually become super successful in that type of genre of creating content. So much content was being put out. It's almost like this guy was unstoppable. But then, on June 26th, 2018, a video was posted to Alex's channel titled, "I have to sell my RV." This was a mystery. We all knew for a fact this was Alex's passion. He had fun, his content was so intrusive, and it was just so good. Everything seemed to be going so perfect. And then, well, it happened. His fanbase had received word about 2 weeks after that video was uploaded that Alex would be eventually using the money gained from selling his RV to move to Brooklyn, New York. Now, you also have to keep this in mind. Manhattan is the fourth most expensive area to live in if you're planning on moving to New York City like myself. So this obviously wasn't going to be a piece of cake to accomplish, so the question running everyone's mind was, how? How was Alex gonna possibly be able to afford a decent-sized apartment in NYC? Well, somehow he was able to pull it off. He eventually gave his fans a room tour of his brand new New York City apartment sometime in 2019. As we all know, this is arguably when Alex's career started to go south and everything went wrong. His 21st birthday stream. Now, before I get into this, viewer discretion is advised for use of alcohol. On CND's 21st birthday stream, he had a quick shot of some sort of alcohol on the coffee table set in front of him, and when the clock struck midnight on his birthday, well, he would take the shot to celebrate becoming a fully grown adult and legally being able to drink alcohol. But things took a turn for the worst. When the clock struck midnight, Alex debated taking the shot, but he decided to smoke weed on his live stream with thousands of people watching. Kids, teenagers, everyone alike. This was obviously shocking, considering the fact that Alex's content and his channel were based towards kids, a family-friendly content creator. Everything he earned, everything he worked for, every fan that joined his fan base, and every person he looked up to, he just threw it all in the garbage. Shortly after this incident, there would be multiple occurrences of Alex just randomly disappearing from YouTube and really all of his social media sites for months on end. This mystery still isn't fully understood to this day, but shortly after those incidents occurred, of Alex's randomly disappearing, he came back with a video titled, "I'm quitting." When this video was posted to Alex's channel, and I had some free time to watch it, I was in disbelief. Alex CND had been my #1 inspiration for creating content at the time, and was my hero, and at this moment, I knew he had just thrown everything he worked for in the trash. I believe this exact video was where Alex's content and his channel started to go downhill. Shortly after this video was uploaded, Alex announced that he would quit making YouTube videos and just start streaming games. I mean, this definitely wasn't the worst outcome of the situation. At least Alex was back to at least putting some sort of content out, right? But like all things good, Alex started to disappear again. This was definitely a problem that should have been solved at this point. I mean, his entire fanbase still had absolutely no clue as to why these random disappearances kept on happening. And then, we finally found ourselves a lead. Jacob Zacharina. For all of you guys who have no idea who this person is, Jacob Zacharina, or Jacob Decay, has been Alex's absolute best friend really since from the beginning. He's been there from the 3DS unboxing and a really good majority of all of the videos Alex has posted. But then things started getting weird. Jacob would start to live stream from Alex's apartment in New York City, and whenever someone would ask questions about him, Jacob would get very defensive over the topic and end up shutting it down immediately. This inherently raised even more questions as to if Jacob knew what happened to Alex, but wouldn't tell us anything about him. To this day, Alex CND streams Nintendo games on YouTube and occasionally on Twitch, but it just doesn't feel the same. I don't even tune into his streams anymore because they don't bring me a sense of excitement and passion. But then again, we never actually found out if Jacob knew anything about Alex at that time. Fast forward in time about 2 years after everything had happened, and one of Alex's other best friends, Blockhead Gaming, posted a very strange video titled, "Where is CND?" And when we all watched it, that's when I knew. Everything made sense. Everything from the smoking weed on his live stream on his 21st birthday so many years ago, so how he was doing physically and mentally. Everything seemed to add up. Blockhead explained in this video how everyone tried to convince Alex not to smoke weed on that specific stream, considering they all knew the consequences of that happening and how his channel would eventually burn out due to it being a family-friendly content. Shortly after that, Blockhead continued on about how he and multiple of his friends tried to talk to Alex, such as him and Jacob, and how he would say he was doing okay, but they knew for a fact that he wasn't doing actually okay. He then explained how Alex had to eventually move out of his apartment in Brooklyn, New York due to financial reasonings, and was living with his father at the time. He also mentioned how Alex was having some health problems, which really worried me because I knew that it had to have been from that. Now, this made me fall into a deep feeling of depression at this time. Alex was someone that I looked up to as a role model. He was someone who inspired me to do great things and showed me that the world is bigger than my own bedroom. Now, if you guys know me personally, I really fell in love with New York City around the time that I started watching CND. I always dreamed about going to NYC to finally meet up with Alex and vlog our experiences and have the time of our lives. And just to know that I'm probably never going to be able to get to experience that brings me a great feeling of sadness. We need to bring CND back. The Nintendo community has fallen into a deep slumber and unfortunately hasn't woken up yet. The only person who can really bring back the real magic of Nintendo console launches and game releases and just anything related to Nintendo in general, it's Alex. Alex, man, if you're watching this right now, I miss you. We all miss you. Me and my friend TheMasonGamer used to look up to you as an inspiration. The way we vlog our videos, the enthusiasm we put into our videos. You were the single reason I started to create content about Nintendo in the first place, and YouTube, really. I always got bullied for liking Nintendo back in grade school and middle school, and just to know that you were there to express your own opinion about your passion really made me feel like I wasn't the only one out there. We miss you, Alex. Maybe one day you'll finally figure out the damage you've caused on the Nintendo community and how many people you've inspired. Maybe then, you finally make a return.
I'll see you later. Bye!
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys want to know what happened to other big names in the Nintendo community and how the YouTubers died out eventually over time due to their problems and everything happening in their lives, be sure and go check out my friend TheMasonGamer's video on this topic. He made one a while ago. Very informative. I suggest you go watch it and leave a like and subscribe to him. Get him to 900 subscribers. He's like 50 away, I believe, and then it's off to 1,000. And I'll see you guys in the next video.